This is hands down the most powerful and versatile tool for using and securing your Bitcoin, period. The goal is to keep you focused on what you need to know in order to start using Sparrow right away without getting overwhelmed, so you can take full control of your Bitcoin with confidence. I'm Ben of the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session. In this video, we're going to walk through everything you need to know to start using Sparrow Wallet, from the simplest setup to some of its most advanced features. Supporting tutorial videos for any hardware mentioned here will be linked in the show notes down below. So let's get started. We're going to begin with a basic hot wallet, showing you the easiest way to get set up and running. And we're first going to download and install Sparrow Wallet. I myself am on a Mac, and it's one of the newer ones, so I'm going to choose Mac OS Apple M series. If you're on a different computer, of course, just download the corresponding one. When it opens, we're going to see an introduction screen. Now, a lot of that will sound like Greek to you if you're brand new. Don't worry, we're going to go past. We're going to start very simply, though. All you're going to do, general rule of thumb, is when using Sparrow Wallet, look for the blue button. That will likely lead you where you need to go. So we're going to do just that. We'll hit next. It talks about public servers and nodes. We don't need to know too much of that for our beginning purposes here. I'm just going to hit next. And next, we're going to hit the blue button for configure server. The long and the short of it is, in order to see your Bitcoin transaction history and your balance, you need to be connected to something known as a Bitcoin node. So I'm just going to leave it as is. You don't need to go shopping around. The only reason you might choose a different one is if you hit test connection, which we're going to do, and it doesn't connect. So I'm going to hit test. And there we go. We get a green check mark. We're good to go. Let's move on, and we'll hit the blue button for create new wallet. We're going to give this wallet a name. We'll just call it Hot Wallet. And then we'll hit the blue create wallet button. We are going to choose new or imported software wallet, which is another way of saying a hot wallet that's on your computer. We're going to click that. For brevity in keeping this thing streamlined, I'm going to hit the drop down arrow and I'm going to choose 12 words. To generate a new wallet, we are going to hit generate new right here. And we're going to write a physical copy of those on paper and keep it safe somewhere. We don't want a digital copy because if our computer crashes, the digital copy goes with it. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to hit the blue button to confirm I've written them by typing them back in. And if I've entered all the words correctly, I will see a little green check mark that says valid checksum, and I'll see a blue button that says create key store, which we're now getting to click. Again, follow the blue button. It will lead you where you need to go. We're going to click on import key store. We now see a whole bunch of different stuff listed here. Nonetheless, we're going to hit the blue apply button in the bottom right. It asks if I would like to add a password to this wallet. In this instance, I am not going to. You now have a functioning Bitcoin wallet. So to clarify here, a sat, there are 100 million sats in a single Bitcoin. So think of it like pennies, but there's a heck of a lot more of them in a whole Bitcoin. The point being, as the value of Bitcoin grows, the smaller and smaller units are more and more useful, and that's why there's so many of them. And we're ready to receive some funds into the wallet and also to test sending funds back out of the wallet. So we're going to do that next. All right, so I'm going to show you how to receive Bitcoin into your Sparrow Hot Wallet using an online exchange. And for this example, I'm going to be using Bitcoin Well. Awesome place in the US and Canada to be buying Bitcoin. It's pretty simple how to do it. So here on my main dashboard, I have a buy Bitcoin button. This takes me to a screen where I can type in any amount and it will show me based on the number of dollars I spend, how much Bitcoin I will receive. But regardless of that, I have this wallet section down below. And there's a little drop-down menu where I can add a wallet. And that's what I want to do right now. And so it's going to ask me, what wallet is this? Just so for my own reference. So I'm going to call it Sparrow Tutorial. And then I need to get a Bitcoin address for it. So this is where we go back to Sparrow and we grab a Bitcoin address. We do that by navigating on the left over to receive, because we're receiving Bitcoin. There's an address right here. The one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give this address a label so that when I see the transaction come in, I know where it's coming from, who sent me money, and I can always look back at that for my own records. So I'm going to type in Bitcoin well, and then I'm going to hit the little copy button right here to receive funds. I've now copied my address, of which there will be many. It creates a new one every time you receive money, but you control them all. I'm going to jump over to Bitcoin well. I've got my wallet that I'm adding. I'm just going to paste in what I've copied. And it's good to make note of the first few digits and the last few digits, and let's just double check they're the same. And that looks good to me. And we'll jump ahead to when that Bitcoin arrives. So we've received some money. We have a full confirmation on it, and we can spend it any way we like. So next, we're going to take a look at how to send a transaction from your hot wallet in Sparrow. Over on the left-hand side, we're going to click on Send, and it's going to ask you a few questions. So number one, who are you paying? We need a Bitcoin address for that. Or you could click the little camera button and you could scan it with your webcam. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I have a Bitcoin wallet open on my phone. It's called AQUA Wallet here. So I'm going to click the camera button and we'll scan the QR code that is on the screen so you can see what that's like. And as soon as it scans, it imports the Bitcoin address into this field here. I'm going to label it. And when you're sending, you're labeling it with who are you sending it to? This is not for anybody else. This is just for your own information. So I'm going to type in AQUA. And then it says, how much would you like to send? So I'm going to start typing in an amount. So maybe I want to send over 50,000 sats. It will then tell me roughly how much that is in US dollars here. Now, finally, the last thing I'm going to address here is the fee. Bitcoin fees are set in sats, which we're familiar with, the smallest unit of a Bitcoin, per byte, meaning per byte of information that your transaction takes up. It has nothing to do with the value that you're sending. It has everything to do with the amount of data that your transaction requires. So this is just a slider. And so as I slide, you can see it will tell you the dollar amount down here in the bottom. I'm going to ignore this graph. We will explore what that is later when we get into the UTXO section. And what did I say before? The blue button will lead you where you want to go. We get a summary of what we're doing. We're going to click the blue button, Finalize. And then lastly, it says we want to sign the transaction. We're going to click blue button for sign. We get this nice little bar that loads. So we've basically taken our keys and unlocked the money, or another way of thinking of it that we signed the check. And now we're just going to let people know about it by broadcasting it out to the Bitcoin network. And in a moment, we should get a notification that it's been sent out to the network. Up in the top right, there it is. New transaction, 50,305 sats. 50,000 being the amount we sent. The extra 305 was the fee. And we can go to our transaction screen in the top left and see the new transaction, which is currently unconfirmed, going to AQUA. That's how much went out. And we can see the remaining balance both here and up top. And down below where it says mempool, as I'm sure you're starting to piece together, 50,305. That means it's any part of the balance that is not fully finished confirming. And that is in the process of leaving our wallet. All right, guys, it's time to do something seemingly a little crazy. We're going to go ahead and we're going to delete our wallet out of Sparrow. But Ben, you have money in there. What are you doing? Why would you ever do that? Well, let's take a look and find out. So I'm going to X out of my hot wallet, as we saw how to do before. I'm going to click Open Wallet. That shows us our menu of where our wallets are. But then I'm going to do the dangerous thing, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to say, move this to trash. And I'm not just going to move it to trash. I'm going to empty my trash because I'm all in here. Let's empty that trash. So that wallet is gone. There's like $100 left in there. What am I to do? Well, we have a backup. We have 12 words where we've jotted down the backup to our money. So how do we get access to that money? Well, let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Import Wallet. And this gives me a little pop-up. And I'm going to say, hey, I've got a mnemonic. I've got a seed phrase. And my seed phrase is how long again? It was 12 words. So I'm going to choose that. And hey, it looks like I could type in my 12 words right now. I'm going to do that right ahead. Remember, I did not have a passphrase on this wall. If I did, I would require it here. And again, we are going to cover in a different video. Nonetheless, I'm going to click on the blue button, Discover Wallet. So this is scanning for any previous transactions that could have taken place. Now, it clearly found something. So it says enter a name for this wallet. So we'll just name it Hot Wallet again. And we'll hit create. Do we want a password? I'm going to say no this time again. And hey, look, we have full access to our funds again. Now, the one thing that it does not import is our labels for our transactions. And why is that? It's because that is not on the global ledger of who owns what. That information that we stored was just here in Sparrow Wallet. But I do remember Bitcoin well, and I do remember AQUA. Once I get it clicked here, there we go. AQUA. So I'll just put those in again. So we now have access to our funds again. We've been able to recover our wallet fully with nothing more than our original 12 words that we wrote down when we set it up. Don't stop learning just because you've gotten through this video. Continue on and use the tools that you have at your fingertips.